morning to you, and welcome back to today's Jrpg weekly update. Except we weren't here last week, so because of that, we got a little bit of extra news to talk about this week, and gosh, guys, we've got a lot of stuff going on this week to talk about. Dragon Quest XII is in the works, Shin Megami Tensei V isn't dead yet, and the Oddity, that is Mother 4, and so much more, really. But before we get to any of that, we got to get to today's top headline, which is that the yet unannounced Final Fantasy VII Remake demo has leaked, which is a pretty big leak. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that is, and before we get to really any of those details, guys, I'm not going to be talking about any of the spoilers that are now available out there. I do want to just warn you guys, though, that there are spoilers out there on the internet, so if you're afraid of having some stuff spoiled for you, well, you should be. So, with that said, what happened here? The Final Fantasy VII demo was, apparently, it was on the PlayStation Network in a rather insecure or unsecured fashion, and people with hacked PlayStation 4s, which, honestly, I didn't even know you could hack a PS4 at this point, but apparently you can. People who have hacked their PS4s have also been able to use them to manually grab the files from this PlayStation Network unlisted demo, which in and of itself wouldn't be so bad. By itself, the demo is essentially what we saw at E3 when they played through like the Mako reactor and that sort of thing, the opening area, which of course that's in the game. That's not a spoiler because that's the opening scene. So anyways, so what they did afterwards, that's not so bad. They can play that. That's cool, I guess. They get it a little bit early, but they also, because they got hacked PS4s, they also have the ability to examine the raw code. So they've been data mining this demo and really digging into all of the files and stuff, and they found screenshots of like end game stuff and like outfits that haven't been announced and all sorts of like just things that if you care about spoilers, you're gonna want to stay the heck away from. So guys, be careful out there. Stick to the reputable sources that you're used to, because otherwise you may get spoiled. But for everybody else, I don't know. How do you prefer to get this sort of information? Do you prefer it just raw and filtered through the lens of hackers who just like are able to just shoot everything out there? Do you want to know all at once? Or do you want to have it released more like dramatically, more presentation? That's kind of what I prefer. I might be the oddball. I don't know, but I kind of prefer things to not be spoiled by leaks. I don't know. Maybe that's weird for me to say that, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew to keep an eye out, be aware that there are spoilers now on the internet for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And also, apparently there's going to be a Final Fantasy VII demo at some point, unless this just put a bad taste in Square Enix's mouth. And hopefully we see that demo sooner than later. Also, Dragon Quest XII has been confirmed to be in development because, of course it is. I mean, of course it is. That's probably been in development since before 11 came out, because that's kind of how these things work, guys, if you aren't already familiar. But for some reason, this has been making the rounds, and well, the reason that this has been making the rounds is because Yuji Horii put out a tweet. He says that, Final Fantasy XII is still a little while ahead, which could mean it's going to be a year or two, or it could be like 5 years. Point is, it's a while. So don't get your hopes up. So here's his full statement from Twitter.
Happy New Year. Last year we released the Dragon Quest movie, Dragon Quest Your Story, as well as the Switch version of Dragon Quest XI. We also released Dragon Quest Walk for smartphones and announced anime and game adaptations for Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai. And now, 33 years after the first game, I am extremely happy to be able to challenge new things, such as the production of Dragon Quest XII. To all the fans who have supported Dragon Quest thus far, as well as the many staff who have sustained it, thank you so much. While I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep this up, I want to work as hard as I can for a little while longer. May this year be a wonderful one for everyone. Please give me your support again this year.
So really, it's kind of like just a Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to be working on some Dragon Quest stuff because it's Yuji Horii. Of course he is. So I'm not really excited by any of that. I was kind of hoping for maybe another little bit of information about the new Dragon Quest Joker that features Eric, because we still haven't heard much more about that. But hey, maybe we'll get that eventually, And speaking of eventually has happened, because Shin Megami Tensei V creators have announced that
I'm not dead.
they feel happy. So, in a response to a tweet from Atlas, Megaten on Twitter, the official Megami Tensei Twitter page, responded, "Please look forward to follow-up news on Shin Megami Tensei V." So, it's really not much to go on. It's actually very much not anything at all to really go on, but it is 100% more than we've had from them ever since basically the game was announced. So it's alive. The project is alive, and I guess they're gonna have some news for us soon, I hope. Or maybe they are just trolling us pretty bad, and they're like, "Yep, just keep waiting. We'll have some news for you in about 3 to 5 years." Also, we have some release date updates to talk about today, starting with Wizardry Labyrinth of Lost Souls, which was getting a PC port. The game was originally launched on PlayStation 3 back in 2011, but a PC remaster by Xseed has been in the works. It was originally planned to release last year, but it was kind of halted last minute due to some licensing issues that were kind of going on with it. Those licensing issues appear to have been resolved, though, at this point, and it's now scheduled to launch on PC via Steam and the Humble Store on the 15th of January, so a little over a week away from now. So that game will be $15 when it's launched, and during the first launch week, it'll be 10% off, so you get $1.50 off that. So not bad at all. I'm glad to hear that they finally got the licensing issues sorted out. That sucked when that happened. In other news, though, we did get some kind of sad news that I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you guys, but for you Xenosaga fans, you gotta hear this because it's important. So, according to Katsuhiro Harada, Xenosaga remasters were actually being considered. It made it as far as the planning stages, but unfortunately, it looks like the games failed in a profitable market analysis, according to Harada on Twitter. So he says now that's going to make the project more difficult to resurface in the future. So I know you guys really have been wanting, ever since the .hack games got an HD remaster, people have been telling me that they really want to see that Xenosaga get an HD remaster. And, God, so close, yet so far. I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. That really does. And speaking of things that suck, in Ni no Kuni, the movie from 2019, this movie is coming to Netflix on January 16th. The movie was originally released in Japan on August 23rd, 2019. The movie doesn't appear to be directly related to any of the Ni no Kuni games at all, so don't get your hopes up for that. It is, however, being directed, or was directed, by Yoshiyuki Momose, an animator over at Studio Ghibli. So at least it looks pretty spot on for Ghibli, I think, based on just what I've seen so far. So far, the movie has received pretty mixed reviews overall, but if you like the Ni no Kuni video game series, who knows, maybe with that predisposition, this could be one of those things that interests you. So keep your eyes out for that. Again, that's on Netflix on the 16th. And now here's my favorite bit of today's news, really. In community news, this one is a little bit of an oddity. Once upon a time, Shigesato Itoi, the writer of Earthbound, said that the next entry in the Mother series would be written by its fans. Well, whether this was a metaphor or not, this statement from Shigesato Itoi inspired a fandom to action. Mother 4 was a passion project started by fans inspired by this very statement from Shigesato Itoi. After several years of development, Mother 4 is finally being rebranded to Oddity. And that's probably for a myriad of reasons. Probably a great way to keep yourself from getting a cease and desist letter from Nintendo of America or Nintendo of Japan or wherever, I guess. And after rebranding, they released a brand new trailer that looks so good. It looks so good. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. It looks like it takes place in the 1970s and follows a 13-year-old boy who wields a pellet gun and a baseball bat. So, yeah, I'm stoked, guys. I hope you are too. This looks fantastic. And they say Mother 4, when it was announced, it was planned to be released for free. I don't know if that holds true for Oddity or not. If it does, oh man, I'm definitely going to give it a go. Anyways, according to the trailer, the game is scheduled to be released when it is ready. Which doesn't really tell you a whole lot, but hey, it looks so close to being finished. It could be any time. I mean, if they're releasing the trailer now, it must be on the horizon, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. If not, I'd be curious to see what the reasoning was behind the release of the trailer. But aside from that, we have some SuperDerek news to talk about this week. Since there wasn't really a whole lot of news last week, I decided to just go ahead and release a top 5 moments from the game collection from the last decade, covering some of my favorite top 5 moments over the last, well, I said the last decade, but really I've only been at it for almost 7 years, so it's not quite a full decade worth of picks, but I still am pretty happy with the ones that I picked out. So if you haven't seen that yet, I'd appreciate it if you did. Go check that out. It's a lot of fun to make, and I made it for you guys. Also, in SuperDerek streams, we finished up Super Mario RPG, and the review is currently in production and should be out before terribly long. It might be a little while, though. Also, in the meantime, over on SuperDerek streams, we started playing through Secret of Evermore, and that game is actually pretty short. It's pretty much nearly done, I think. I think we're probably going to wrap it up this week. So that's another review that'll probably be just around the corner. And now, Saturday night, last night, actually for me, because I'm recording this on Sunday, last night, on Saturday night, on Twitch, we continued our run of Jukebox Hero, and I felt like this would be an opportune time to mention to you guys, I have this challenge that I do on Twitch. It's called the Jukebox Hero Challenge. It's something that I only do once every 2 weeks, and it is something of my own invention, and I think you guys might really be interested in this. So what it is I'm playing through 3 classic Super Nintendo games at the same time, and basically every time that the audience participates in the stream, it essentially switches the game over to the next one in the rotation, and it gets pretty hectic. And I'm just going to show off a couple fun clips from last night that grabbed my attention. So I hope you guys enjoy these. Oh man, Zerayu, thank you for the bits, buddy. Whew, it was a little touch and go there for a second. Suddenly, I'm feeling much better about my situation. All right, free slumber. Zerayu, thank you for the bits. Oh man, we are back to Breath of Fire. Whoops, I did not mean to go to Gaunt. Hang on, just a sec. I gotta disconnect and reconnect my control. Oh no! Oh god! No. Okay, stop killing us, Ret, tonight. This is. All right, that's it. We just gotta have to go ham. Kill him, Magus. You got this. You got this. Oh, no way. You gotta be kidding me. I hope you enjoyed those clips from that Twitch stream last night. That was super fun, and we'll be doing that again. We do it every other Saturday night, so we'll be doing this again on the 18th, and I hope that you can join us for that when we do. Also, last and certainly not least, and perhaps you may have already noticed that there's a slight difference to the way things look today. I got a new camera, a new web camera, and it's also a brand new filming camera, guys. This is exciting stuff because what this is going to amount to here for practical purposes is the JRPG weekly update looks much better now. And also the game collection episodes are going to be in 4K. That's right. We're upgrading over here at the game collection, and it is exciting stuff. I hope that you enjoy what comes of this, because it took a little bit of doing. Anyways, in the meantime, this is still only 1080p for how we're recording right now, but the game collection will be in 4K, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Anyways, guys, that leaves us with basically just the JRPG weekly forecast and then the question of the week. So this week's forecast is it's a kind of an odd one because somehow only the Xbox One got any RPGs this week. How weird is that? The console that usually has none got all of the RPGs, but there's just the two. And honestly, Regions of Ruin is one of them, which is already on PS4 and Switch. That's coming out on the 8th. And then also Dragon Sinker Descendants of Legend. It's coming to Xbox One also on the 8th. And this is a Kemco RPG that's basically also already on everything else since the PlayStation Vita. But if you have a Xbox One and just need to get something else, those are two games that you can take a look at and see if they're up your alley. But that leaves us with just this week's question of the week. And, you know, because Oddity was really my favorite bit of news, I wanted to make the question of the week about that. What do you think of Mother 4 rebranding to Oddity? And I'll go ahead and give you my quick hot take on this subject. I think that it's a fantastic idea. Of course, and because it prevents that cease and desist from Nintendo of wherever. And also, I feel like it also legitimizes the development of the game. Because when they were renaming it Mother 4, it kind of, in my opinion, oh, sorry, microphone. In my opinion, when they named it Mother 4 and officially went with that, it seemed to me kind of presumptuous, maybe, or maybe lofty, and also it seemed like this bootleg sort of scenario where it didn't feel official. It didn't feel like anything other than like some kind of wannabe project. And honestly, I feel bad for saying that because after seeing the trailer, it's clear that they've been putting in the time and the effort into making this a legitimate video game development. And now that it's no longer Mother 4 and it's just called Oddity, while it's still obviously paying homage to the Mother series, it feels more like a spiritual successor and not a bootleg. It's a more familiar concept, something that I'm more familiar with and comfortable with mentally in my headspace. But maybe I'm just, a little weird about things, and I'm kind of curious about what you guys think. Do you think this is a great idea for similar reasons? Or do you just kind of not feel much at all? I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, guys. So anyways, thank you for joining me. It has been a pleasure once again to talk to you guys. I am SuperDerek. We will be doing this again on Monday, and I will see you guys then. Have a great week, everybody. I am SuperDerek, and this has all been news to me.